As is customary on the segment, we normally talk about property ownership and finding the house that you will live in and own for the rest of your life. Not the topic today. We are talking about rentals. Liz and Gina are here from RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Yeah.
Half a day, ladies.
Half a day.
Gina,
I know.
why the glum face?
Because we're talking about rentals.
Dark cloud has descended over this segment all of us. Okay, so
Yeah.
what is the state of the rental market right now for the uninitiated?
Well, I think if you're a military, we've got like three markets, right? We've got military tenants. We have our families that are under what they call the Section 8 program, which is subsidized rental. And then we have our local market.
Is it fair to call that low-income families?
Low to medium.
Okay, low to medium, okay.
Yeah. And then we've got our local population, so everybody else who doesn't fall into those two categories.
People who live here, we make this our home.
People who live here, yeah.
Forever.
And we actually have a lot of investors right now that are in the market. And the cloud over my head, and,
oh boy.
And I've been, trying to talk to everybody I can and pitching this is, I know that as an investor, or like if I have a lot of families who had lived in their home forever. Now they're moving to the States or they want to downsize, and they come to me and they say, well, I would like to rent my house to the military market. They're investors, of course they want to maximize, and frankly speaking, the military budget's much greater than even our local population, right?
Okay, I'm going to ask you for some hard numbers now. If you're a 21, 22-year-old in the Navy or Air Force and you've got maybe 3 or 4 years in the military, you're an E4, E5.
That's right.
Maybe like a sergeant and everything like that. What would your allotted budget be?
From our understanding,
it's about 22.
About
2,200.
to
$2,200.
If you're married with family with children, it's
more.
about 24.
Comparably, if you are someone
that's what the families are telling us.
Yeah, if you're someone who lives on Guam, you're employed by the private sector here, you were educated on Guam and everything like that. That number is,
me. I wouldn't want to spend more than $1,000 a month.
That number is decidedly lower, yeah.
Right? It's different.
The local market is different.
More than half of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the local market is different. I mean, their budgets, we're getting calls constantly for both Section 8 and the local market. Section 8 budgets are around $1,200, and it could be more depending on the number of bedrooms.
Slightly more.
Slightly more. But if you, like for you, for example, when you're renting for like $900. I just got calls yesterday, people looking for the $1,000 budget. It's hard to find. Yeah. So we're really concerned that, of course, as realtors, our responsibility is also to the local market. However, it's a question of what is available, what's out there, and we need to fill that market. Because if we don't, right now, we've got quite a bit of homeless right now. There's over 1,000 homeless.
And this is the chicken and egg economic problem, right?
Yes,
because the investors and the property owners are going to say, okay,
I
need to take a hit, and I'm going to lose money
Well,
on
they
this.
want to maximize their investment, of course.
So do I drop my price just to accommodate the local market?
Well, here's the deal. Like with some of these investors, for instance, I've been living in my home for the last 20 years, and then I decide I move up or I move down because my kids are gone and I want something smaller. So I take that property and I want to put it on the market. So people are contacting us and saying, okay, we want to rent to the military, but that house isn't automatically just going to rent to the military. We have a glut in the market of military rentals. That's my opinion right now. There's a lot of military rentals, a lot of investors, a lot of people buying new homes specifically to put it on the market for military tenants. So there's just a lot. So if I own that home and I'm looking, okay, what do I need to do to compete with those houses, these newer homes? I need to gut it and spend what, maybe $40,000 to $50,000? Well, what I'm trying to tell these investors is, or these property owners, why do that? Why go spend $40,000, $50,000 when we have a market that nobody is catering to? You're not going to make 22, but you're spending 50 to get to that price range, right? So, the property needs to be in good living, in good condition.
Well, what about if you're a savvy and wise investor, why don't you just kind of you hedge your bets?
No, but here's the catch. everyone wants to maximize their investment.
Sure. Yes.
And as Gina puts it, when they leave, of course, they want the most that they can for the dollar. But you'd have to evaluate, if you're going to spend X amount, are you going to really get that back in return? Versus there is a market right now that's pretty strong that nobody is really focusing on. So I think we want to get the message out there. There's a lot of, in our community, people are looking for 900, 1,000, 1,200 rentals. And these are people that are employed.
Okay.
And they have the buying power for that budget. But we need to fill that
We don't
market.
have
I'm
an
loving the fact
inventory.
how you're actually saying specifically these are investors. And, you know, if you look at it in terms of like traditional, like if you were going to play stock market,
Yes.
Right.
investment advisors would say you need to diversify. So say, Gina, if you've got 6 properties under your management, would you say it would be a smart strategy to say, okay, I'm going to take 3 and cater these to the local market. I'm going to take 2 and cater those to the Section 8 tenants, and then take the 1 and really put big time money in that, and then cater that to the military. And then I kind of have,
Then you have a good
then I have
balance.
balance, and the numbers should work themselves out.
Well,
In theory, that works.
In theory, but I find most investors, if they can afford to upgrade and cater all to the military market, they do. That's what they go for. But what I'm suggesting is, instead of spending, and most of our investors are single individuals with 1 or 2 houses. Lucky if they own 2, right?
Right.
So to those folks that are getting ready to put their property on the market, we are suggesting that you not spend the $50,000 to renovate. You sit down and you work out your numbers. Number one, it's going to cost you, it might even cost you more now because we don't, you know, we do have a shortage in labor. And if you do find labor to do the work, you're going to have to be patient and wait it out.
wait it out.
You're looking at about 6 months for that type of work. But what if you just made it clean, put in good appliances, painted it, put it in good condition, put it on the market, and cater to our local population?
Okay, you're starting to get like all stressed out here. Please, woo-sa, like relax. Okay, that's
It's a
unfortunately.
suggestion.
Okay, no,
Suggestion.
that is a
Yes.
decent
Yes.
strategy. So we are going to try and calm Gina's nerves right now. Let's go, kumbaya, my lord, and we'll see you guys next time. All right, we're going to calm Gina down.